Hello and welcome back to the RENT4RING Debakel. How I crashed and burned at the Nuerburgring. Let's get right back into the shit show, shall we? Okay, where did we stop last time? Oh yeah. The letters, blah 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 blah. She claims that I was walking around her flat and tried to break in. That's totally bullshit. I lived over 2 years in the house, and I'll tell you one thing: if I wanted to get in, I would get in. I know every little thing about this house. I even know that there's a hole in the floor underneath Saskia's bed. Guess how I know that? Well, it's an old outhouse, and it's actually quite surprising that it's still standing. So this is not true. I admit that I tried to push the door open to put the cup with the message inside because it was actually snowing. But since it was not open, I put it on the window, you know, because the door it doesn't shut really. It's kinda like the rest of the house. It's old, and if you give it a stern look, it will pop open. So the next thing she's accusing me of is that in the past I would follow her and that I drove behind her and that she had to flee to the police station in Adenau to escape from me. Of course, that's total and utterly bullshit because we lived in the same house. We would get the groceries from Lidl and Rewe, get our beauty stuff, you know, from Rossmann. We went to the same hairstylist. We went to the same dentist. Yeah. So of course it would happen that sometimes we would leave the house the same time and use the same way down to Adenau. Sometimes it even happened that she was driving behind me. So I don't know what she's claiming here. Also, if she was so much in distress by me driving behind her, by sheer chance, then why did she just drive past the police station? Why didn't she go inside and call for help if she was so much in distress? So that didn't happen. That was just happening in her fantasy, and this is just that she claims that I followed her. That's just total bullshit. It would also be totally unnecessary because, like all people, she's a great creature of habit. And after over 2 years with her under one roof, guess what? I totally know her life habits. I know when she goes to the groceries. I know when she goes to the tax office, you know, brings the documents over and stuff like that. So that's just not true. That's a straight up lie. So the next thing is this is where it really gets, I would say, funny, but it's actually not funny. This is where she really gets out of hand and starts pulling stuff out of her ass. So she says at March 8th, 2025, that I was driving in front of the company several times up and down the road, and that I was grinning at her. So first of all, that was the first day when the track reopened. Of course, I was in Nürburgring. Of course, I was driving through the town, checking everything out after the winter break. And for me, that's a totally normal thing. I already told in the episode 0.5 that I do this for years. And I really don't know how she wants to be able to have seen me like this, because if she was so hard at work, because she usually is inside and does the paperwork and the contracts with the customers, and after that she gets out and helps the customers get strapped into the cars and stuff. So I was wondering how she could see me so good that she even could see me grinning at her. That also didn't happen. I was happy. I was actually smiling. Sure, first day of a Touristenfahrten again. That's a reason to be happy. Everybody was in a good mood, so why shouldn't I be in a good mood, right? And then she claims that when she was about to enter shift and wanted to get groceries, yeah, you know, that I was sitting on a bench uh, close to her car. So, like usually, I like to go in the evenings to walk a lap around the castle. I do this. I started doing this when I moved into the house. So I do this for years. I even until today, I often go to Nuremberg just to walk around the castle because I really like doing it. There's no particular reason. During the season, it's just fascinating how there can be a lot of noise going on the racetrack or whatever, you know, with all the cars. And when you are on the bench sitting behind the castle, because there's a bench at some place, you don't hear anything. It's just quiet and peace. While a couple of 100 meters down the road, there's, you know, all the shenanigans going on. That's why I love walking around there. And of course, I consider it my home. I like doing it. So I don't know what she's accusing me of. She, she, she accuses me of the criminal act of existing and being visible. Imagine that. My body reflects light and she can see me. Regarding the claim that I was sitting close to her car, so the first thing is she was surrounded by at least 5 or 6 people I didn't know. I might have even waved at them because that's just how I am. I can't just walk by and not greet people I know. I even greet the people I don't know in the village because as I already told, that's how I work. So those people, they could have easily escorted her if she would really be afraid of me. Also, the bench I was sitting is at the Lechenweg, if you know the area. It's at least like, it's not exactly, it's maybe 50 meters away. And even then, what did she expect me to do? To attack her in front of all the people? No, I'm not that stupid. I'm sometimes do stupid things, but I'm not that stupid, and I would never do something to her. So, oh yeah, and the best part is first Dale the Duckhead comes out and actually harasses me. He's like, "Hey Stefan, is that you?" And I'm like, "Hey, hi Dale," and he's like, "Oh, we are long past hi Dale." And he was acting all high and mighty like he's the mayor of Nuremberg and has the right to tell me. He told me I'm not supposed to come back there. Like he has a right to tell me not to be there. Like in the German law, every citizen has the right to move freely and unobserved. Yeah, okay, that's like in our constitution, if you want to call it like that. So he tells me basically that I'm not allowed to be in Nuremberg, and then I looked at him. Then I said, "Yeah, if you think that way, then why don't you just go back in your little shithole of an office and leave me alone?" And then he walked off like a mad walrus. I mean, he looks like a walrus with his stupid mustache, like a Nigel Mansell for poor people. Temu Nigel Mansell. And then I told him, "Yeah, how about I come visit you at your house in Samersbach and we talk about it?" And he gave me a stern look and just walked away. Fucking idiot. Yeah. And then Fräulein Dombrowski called the Polizei, misuse of the emergency call system, and claimed that I was in front of the house despite being trespassed. I mean, I was in the public space, so I never stepped onto the premises. And then she called the Polizei and told him that I was harassing employees of the company. And when the Polizei came, of course, they couldn't. How do you say? Nothing happened. I was just sitting on a bench, checking everything out, like what all the lovely people were posting on Instagram and Facebook about the first day of the season. So that they came up to me and, "You are Mr. Kruger, yeah, I'm what gave me away, blah blah blah." I already knew whom I had to thank for the police coming to me, and they were like, "Yeah, they say you were causing trouble," and I'm like, "No, I'm just sitting here now. I'm just enjoying my life, like I do for over 20 years since 2002." And then they were like, "Yeah, that's no problem. Of course you can be here and sit on the bench." There's nothing that speaks against of it. And they told me that, but I'm not allowed to step onto the property of Rent4RING because I'm trespassed. I told them I don't think that I'm trespassed because the sentence from the court, in my opinion, is not valid. But the police officer told me, yeah, then I'm trespassing you right now. They don't want you there. And if you step on the yard, I'm gonna, act on it and I'm gonna arrest you. And then I told him, yeah, okay, then I give you my word that I won't step on the property. And then he said, yeah, cool, that was all I just wanted to hear. And then we talked a little bit about, I told him, yeah, about all the BS that was going on in the past. And basically they just wished me a nice evening. I told them, yeah, I go now for a hike, my lap around the castle. And then this was done for the moment. Okay, so I told you that I was surprised how she could see me so good while she is hard at work and busy handling customers. And I think I have a really good idea, because when I go for a hike in the dark and you use your iPhone camera, the iPhone camera is really good at picking up infrared light. So you can easily pick up hidden cameras, that use infrared light in the dark. So I found out that they had put up a little camera up on Mark's window, Mark Müller's window. And they used that camera to actually surveillance the public space. So I'm guessing right now that she later checked the video footage, and that's how she really could tell that I was there and that I was driving up and down the road and smiling. The crime I committed, the really fearsome crime of smiling at people. What an idiot I am. And she also said that I was there at 17th and 18th of March, and that I was visible. Imagine that, the horrible crime of being visible to other people in Nürburgring. That was she accusing me, and I think that she also used this little camera to spy on the public space. And that's actually a felony, because in Germany only the Polizei and similar organizations are allowed to surveillance the public space, and only if they have the permission of a judge, okay? So not even the Polizei is allowed to just put up a camera somewhere and spy on people, okay? And yeah, the lawyer, the drunken lawyer, Tim Bandoyer, who likes to crash his Suzuki Swifts on the Nordschleife, he already admitted to the court that they installed hidden cameras to surveillance me, to explicitly spy on me, and that's also a felony. I could have Mark's ass for that, because I also caught him pointing a GoPro from his window into my window. That's also a felony. They're so fucking assholes. Yeah, what can you say towards something like that? They're accusing me of existing, enjoying my life. This is just a shit show. This is so horrible. And now, next thing, I'm gonna show you the police report to show you that she's just pulling shit out of her ass. She also claimed to the court that I was resisting the police. And as I said earlier, one of the stupid things in life you can do is resisting against the police. Because if they have made up their mind that they want to either detain you or arrest you, they will just do it. No matter what you do, you cannot run away. I can't run away. I have asthma. I would come maybe 50 meters and then I would just fall on the floor and they would arrest me then there. Plus, the Polizei, if you give them a reason, they are even allowed to use force against you, and if necessary, even deadly force. So I personally, since I'm lazy and I'm a very pragmatic person, I would never resist against the police. If they tell me, hey, you are trespassed, go away, the people don't want you here, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go. If I want to, I just return later when the people are gone that don't want me there, if I wanted to. But I probably wouldn't, because that would be asking for trouble. But no, she claimed I resisted against the police. That never happened. But of course the judge is stupid. They just took her word for it. They didn't even check it. I filed a complaint to the judge. I said, hey, how can you even believe that without even checking? Don't you have a responsibility? You are making a sentence. You are ruling about my life, and you don't even fact check the most basic facts. And when she did, after I complained, she did that, and I got the police report with the post. I'm gonna show it right now. So this is just a short version, I think. The involved persons are Saskia Dombrowski, blah blah, Stefan Krüger, blah blah. With the police in Adenau, there's this case number, and what happened is an argument. Nothing special is mentioned here. The short version is the caller reports a former employee that's, despite being trespassed, is appearing in front of the company and is harassing employees. Okay, and then the police states, when we arrived at the scene, nothing, we couldn't see anything relevant. That they basically say I didn't do anything wrong. The accused didn't trespass on the property at no point in time. He was sitting a couple of meters in a distance of a couple of meters on a bench, and the background is apparently old arguments. That's the short version that the police gave. 1 second, I have to pull up the other screenshot thing. So now the more detailed version. So the caller was Fräulein Dombrowski. What a surprise! We didn't. I don't understand that sentence. It says that I wasn't trespassed, but I'm actually being trespassed. The police officer Dieden would recall from his memory that there was a report about me and blah blah. This is the number. I don't understand that mumbo jumbo. Something that the files are not electronically saved in their system, but they could get it through the DA in Koblenz. And then the number and the file number and all kinds of things that drunken people like lawyers do. So they talked to Fräulein Dombrowski, and she claims that I trespassed and that I'm the accused. And they show now about her interview. Is it an interview? Okay, so she claims that despite being trespassed, that I constantly show up on the company premises and ask to be rehired. So that's not true. I once wrote a very nasty email. I will show that in another episode, where I made a funny remark that Mark Müller can rehire me if he doesn't want to pay the money he owes me. So that's not true. That's a false claim. I didn't go there and ask to be rehired. And she also says I, in general, appear in the night time, and that the last time I left the offending note, where I told them that I'm willing to accept the apology and stuff, and that they should just talk to me. What an evil person I am! And by the way, I show up at nighttime because of all the shit they did to me. I suffer from not only depression and anxiety, but also insomnia. I have a really hard time finding sleep at night, and driving with the car and going for a hike. It really helps me, and I just love to be at Nürburg. And she now claims that January the 9th, 2025, that she was spying again through the surveillance system that they illegally installed without my knowledge to surveillance me and basically harass me. And the reason I showed up there, I just wanted to see if there are new flyers, and I wanted to check the cars. And I actually didn't know that I was trespassed at that point. That's another interesting story. She claims that I've been trespassed from the court in Bad 9 Ahrweiler in 2023, after I've been my contract was terminated by Mark Müller. But what they don't tell is that Mark Müller never personally trespassed me. Even the day when he met me, when I moved out of the house in August, he never told me that I'm not allowed to come back on the property. He actually attacked me. He told me that I'm like one of the bitches who usually suck his cock, and that I'm a little bitch. And he actually physically attacked me and pushed me in front of the gate from the carport. And there are actually witnesses for it. And one of the former employees of RENT4RING already told me that he witnessed everything. So that ugly piece of work can't even talk his way out of this time. So he never told me that I'm trespassed. And now she says, because of me trespassing, that she's filing a report against me because we are trespassing. Blah, blah, blah. Then she's referring to the note I left, the offensive note. I don't know what's the point of it. And she claims, yeah, then here is the cherry picking again. He explained on this note that we won't get rid of him. Yeah, no word of hey, you did wrong by me and I'm willing to accept your apology. No, they just focus on the part where I say, yeah, well, I will come back all my life to Nürburgring. So, and then the next part I will talk about in another episode, because this is a very long, this will take a lot of time to explain. But what I wanted to say about the trespassing, so Mark Müller never trespassed me in person, and what they did after I moved out, and I can prove that I already moved out in August, because they claim I moved out in September, but I actually moved out in August. And after I moved out, they withheld the letters from me that arrived still at the house. Because if you know RENT4RING, the property, there's only one post box, okay? This is the post box for RENT4RING. All the letters for all the tenants in the house will get delivered into this post box. And I never had a key for this post box. And this I can also prove by witnesses. Alan Harte, who lived there, he never had a key for the post box. Björn Alftan never had the key. Pascal can tell you that I never had a key. So after I moved out, they took my post, and what is the English word for unterschlagen again? So they just kept my post and made it disappear. So that's another felony. They did it on purpose, and I can even prove that, because the court in Bad 9 Ahrweiler, I filed a complaint that they did it, and they are like. I mean, they dismissed my complaint. They said, you know about the sentence, so you must have gotten the post. But they also told me that according to the postman, they have to file out a form, you know, when they deliver a court order and sentence and stuff like that. And it is proven that it was delivered into the post box of RENT4RING. So the people who are filing, you know, the trespassing against me. so they got my post, and I never got it. They didn't give it back to the postman, because that's what they should have done according to the law. If I move out and there are still posts arriving from me, they either have to keep it and give me an opportunity to pick it up, or they have to give it back to the postman. One of those two things. You are not allowed to destroy post of another person, or to just put it back in a public post box so the post take care of it. That's not allowed. But they did that. So those motherfuckers, they had me trespassed, didn't tell me about it, and when they see me through a surveillance system that they installed without my knowledge, with the sole purpose of spying on me, then they put me on a charge on the next higher instance. And I couldn't even defend myself, because in the next higher instance, in the Landgericht, you need to have a lawyer. and they pulled some tricks. Yeah, and the alcoholic Tim Bandoyer, who likes to crash Suzuki Swifts, he's really good at playing the judges here in the area. He played them like a fiddle, you know. I didn't even have time to get a lawyer because since I'm unemployed, I don't have the money to get a lawyer. So I first have to go to the local court here and basically get the voucher. Okay, but that takes time. They took like 4 or 6 weeks to process all my paperwork, and by that time I was already I was already sentenced by the court in where was it, Trier or Koblenz? I don't even care. I don't even know. I don't give a shit. So this is as you can see, she's pulling a lot of shit out of her ass. And let's move. There was another thing. Let's just check it. Okay, so now here she's claimed that she feels harassed by me, that she feels personally attacked because that's the other mail I will talk about later. I wrote something about her and her sister. She says that I'm threatening her, quote unquote. She can only explain it that she's the assistant of the management at RENT4RING. I mean, everybody who works longer than 2 weeks at RENT4RING knows that she's the management, and she says that she's responsible for HR stuff, and that I see her responsible for my contract termination. That's total bullshit. I mean, first she pulled strings to make Mark not rehire me. Okay, that's for me clear. But my termination was never a problem at RENT4RING. As I said before, I worked in logistics in the Ruhrgebiet where hire and fire is the norm. The termination itself was never a problem. The problem was it came to an argument when I asked Mark about his reasons to not rehire me.
What do you want?
He wasn't able to give me a straight answer. Instead of just telling me that he preferred Dinant over me, and you know, he just came up with some bullshit reason for something that happened nearly 2 years before that, or over a year before that. And when I confronted him that he's apparently full of shit, yeah, he just lost it.
Go away.
And then he attacked me and threatened me to knock my teeth out. And I have witnesses for that. Well, I at least have one witness. And Saskia and Dinant also know it, but of course they are at the moment on Mark's side. They are in a position where they can't speak against Mark. They get used by him and Tim.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what she claims that is not true. She knows why I didn't really wanted to threaten her, but she knows why I'm upset with her. She did a lot of things I already talked about, and there is more to come. And yeah, that's the true reason that my contract termination has nothing to do with it. Then she's talking about stuff that happened, that some of the cars were damaged in the night. Dinant's car and another car apparently, and that they didn't file a report for that because they didn't have proof, but because of the situation and my behavior, sitting peacefully on a bench, that they have a vague Verdacht. I don't find the right word now. That they are thinking that they think it was me. Then they wanted me to appear in front of the police here in Wittlich. They filed a report for extortion against me. Of course, that's also total bullshit. The DA already dropped the case because they can't prove anything. The thing is already, the drops is gelutscht, you know. Dinant actually filed a report with the police against me for causing damage to his car. Of course, he didn't have any proof. It wasn't me. They are kinda, how you say, they are paranoid in some way. Every time
some shit happens, they just accuse me. They just pull some shit out of their ass and say, oh, it was Stefan. It was already like this when I worked there and nothing has changed since then. And then the Polizei says that they have 3 other cases where I put them on report for being Mark and Tim. I put in report for a conspiracy. That's a felony. For attempted manslaughter, because they, in my opinion, I'm convinced that they tried to make me commit suicide because they caused me mental distress on purpose, and because they knew that I had suicidal thoughts before. I'm convinced that it was their goal to make me commit suicide by causing me mental distress, by turning the employees of RENT4RING against me in a conspiracy to behave hostile towards me by passive-aggressive behavior. And the Polizei also says that they don't actually give a shit here, that I'm accusing several people, and that they didn't think that it's necessary to take action in any form, and that they didn't even ask people. I gave them names of witnesses and accomplices, and apparently I'm not important enough. My life is not worth enough to make them do their fucking job. Maybe they only work for bribe money from Mark Müller. I don't know. This video is already over half an hour long, so I hope I see you. I'm gonna end this now. See you at the next episode of the RENT4RING Debakel. How I crashed and burned at the Nuerburgring. Oh man, I'm already getting tired of this. Alright, see you next time. Be good. Bye bye.